Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. I've met a lot of people in Arlington, some that I really like, some that I'll never forget, but few I admire more than the woman that is joining me today, Portia Clark. Portia is the founder of CARE Inc., and she's also the current Civic Association president of the Knock community. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It is an honor to have you here for many, many reasons. But let me start by just letting you describe to our viewers what the organization CARE is that you started.
CARE is an acronym. It's a Community Association for Resources for Education, Enrichment, and Economics Incorporated. And we started it in 1996 to serve disadvantaged communities and youth.
And so that's the reason you started it. Tell me about some of the people that you've touched with that organization.
Well, we started focusing on teenage pregnancy prevention, and it led us to do a lot more work with the parents of the youth that we were working with. So over the years, we've transitioned to develop relationships with several community partners. Knox Civic Association is one of those partners, but we support them with the resources we are able to obtain and help them with special events and promoting the community overall.
And now Knock, not only is it a vibrant community, but there's a lot of civic engagement. How does that help the community to represent itself when there's development or transportation or other education issues that come up?
Well, Knock has changed a lot over the years, and some would say it's what's gentrification, which is not something we want to stop because it's going to happen whether we want it to or not. But the demographics have shifted. Knock has been a well-established community of African American residents, and as we see the shift with new housing, and it's the last affordable housing area in Arlington, it just brings in a diverse population that is changing where we live and have lived for years.
And traditionally, in African American communities, they're not always as civically engaged, probably because they're working really hard, they're really busy, they're focused in their church. So how does getting this CARE community and the Civic Association invigorated help really to educate the entire county?
Well, something we focus on a lot is the special events that we do throughout the year. And we do have a very active Civic Association, which over the years, it's been reported that we probably have more in attendance than most. So with a lot of younger people coming in, at one time it was very aging, but we still have a mix of individuals that are involved, and a lot of the younger residents are coming in and they're wanting to get involved now. Of course, everybody gets involved around issues,
Right.
you know, affordable housing and all the rest.
But you're not only involved in issues, but you're also out in front so that the community sees you as a leader. You've been recognized many times. Your birthday is a huge celebration for everyone because you really are an institution. I was at George Mason University when they gave out the Karen Mortensen Award. That's Don Byer's great-grandmother, I think. And it was for engaged leaders that are women in our community, and they recognized you, and you got a standing ovation.
Well, it was an honor to receive that award by the Bayer office. That Mr. Bayer was very gracious in recognizing all that I've done over the years. And
now, I know that you've been asked repeatedly to run for office. In fact, many years ago when I ran for office, I asked if you'd take my place after we met. So there's another election coming up. You know, some people aren't as engaged as they should be. Seems like now maybe they might be a little bit more. What are some questions that you'd like people to ask the school board as well as the county board when they're going to their Civic Association meetings?
Well, certainly the school in our neighborhood is under a transition period where it goes back to, again, the African American history of it in 1972 when it was desegregated. So right now it's a matter of how we're going to help our kids from the neighborhood to achieve academically. It's been 2 programs in one building, Montessori and a traditional program. In 2019, Montessori will be relocated. So I think people and parents really need to get on board and understanding what's the new Drew going to look like in the future. What are we doing to ensure that all kids are educated and that the academic achievement gap just doesn't continue to widen?
And that when kids graduate, they do go on to...
And that they are prepared for the 21st century that we live in and can operate and obtain jobs with meaningful employment. So whether they go to college or whether they learn skills.
And then, of course, affordable housing as well.
Yes, because many of us face that challenge today where our kids have to leave the community because they can't afford the housing.
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come here and educate and remind us about the importance of civic engagement. People want to get in touch with you. How do they do that?
Well, through the Knox Civic Association website, which
and I have that, ncaarlington.org. Again, ncaarlington.org. That was Portia Clark, president of the Knox Civic Association. Thanks for joining us. And I want to thank all of you for, again, joining us for the Arlington Weekly News' Sustainable Scoop. Back to the news desk.